Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of the Game Changers podcast. My name is Quinn Sejis, and it's a privilege and pleasure to be here with you as usual. My next guest is a young lady with a passion for life coaching. Her name is Sarah Joseph, and this is our amazing conversation. Hello, Sarah.
Hi, May.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. All right, so I'm so happy to have you on. Finally, have you on.
Yeah.
Tell people a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Sarah, and I'm a life coach, and I
Okay,
specialize specifically in burnout, to help my clients recover from burnout and have more freedom in their lives.
interesting. Now you said that you are a life coach. I don't take for granted that my audience might not know what that is. So tell me, what is a life coach?
Okay. So a life coach is a trained professional who is there to help you achieve your goals, help you overcome limited belief, um, pretty much help you to be successful. So it builds a lot of support, motivation, empowerment, direction. We give you tools and techniques to help you along your way.
Interesting. Interesting. Now I know that you said that you are a burnout life coach in particular. First of all, tell us what is burnout and why is it so important to be a life coach for this in particular?
So, well, burnout is a state of physical exhaustion that is not normally happens after the body deals with stress for a long period of time and it has not successfully managed the stress. So we get to the point of burnout.
Okay. And why is it so important
Because
to deal
burnout
with
is
burnout?
very popular. I feel like it is now like a norm. So we kind of normalizing burnout when we shouldn't because
Okay.
being in that state is actually not healthy. So this is why I want to be in that area to help others get out of that zone.
Interesting. All right. So tell us how you fell in love with your work.
Well, I was a burnout survivor, I should say. And
Okay.
it all started in 2019 where I was going through my own stuff and I got a therapist. So emotionally, I was okay, but I felt like something was missing. So that's when I discovered life coaching. And then I searched for a solution. I didn't get any. I got a mentor, which is like pretty cool. So I had a mentor and the impact she had on my life, I was like, yeah, I want to do that for others.
Okay. Interesting. So because you were helped by somebody, you wanted to help others.
Pretty much.
Okay. I like that. So having had life coaching as a career, choosing it as a career, how has it got across thus far? I know it might be difficult because in the Caribbean, we almost don't appreciate certain things like that, therapy and these type of things. So how has it gone thus far, and what challenges have you faced thus far?
All right. So with life coaching, I think the greatest challenge is explaining the difference between it and a therapist. Because when people hear life coaching, they automatically think that I'm about to deal with trauma and have them have an uncomfortable conversation because some people just don't want to deal with stuff. So I
Right.
have to explain to them that life coaching doesn't focus on the past or past trauma, but more your present
Hmm.
and your future. So where you are right now and where you're actually trying to go. So that's what I've been encountering, pretty much explaining what I.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and I can imagine there's a kind of like a learning curve when where that is where that is concerned. So let's take a step back though.
Okay.
How did you fall in love with your work?
Well, I always, apart from experiencing my moment with my mentor, I always loved personal development. I was always the go-to person for advice, whether it's family, friends, strangers, co-workers. I was always that girl. So I finally just owned it and made it a career.
Interesting. Interesting. So yeah, so I'm seeing that you just adopted a passion and made it your career. I think that those are the best careers, careers that you would do even probably even if you were not getting paid to do it. Careers that we want to do regardless.
Right.
Would you agree with that?
Yes.
For sure. For sure. Now, you also said that you focus on millennials. Why that group of people?
Because I'm a millennial and I think because I am one and I'm a burnout survivor, I will be able to relate more to that group of people going through similar situations.
Okay, so because you're the pair, I, I'm guessing you can help them better in that
Yeah.
regard, right? I saw that you are in a career that one you're passionate about, but also two that it's a career that other people can relate to as well, right? So you can relate to people who are your peers and people that you care about as well.
Yes, that's that.
For sure, for sure. Okay. Now I also know that you utilize social media a lot as part of your creative process. Why did you utilize social media, and what is your creative process like?
Well, social media is the thing now. It's the it thing. Everybody is on social media. So
Right.
in order to put yourself out there, you have to go where everybody is normally in that area. So this is why I chose Instagram, which is one of the most popular apps right now.
Interesting. Interesting. And how is that dynamic working out for you? Are people reaching out? Is it easier to get in contact with them there? How is it working out?
I would say for yes, in terms of people reaching out through content, yes, I do get.
Got you. Got you. So it is fruitful in that regard. So people can reach out to your content, whatever you
Yeah,
post out, and I guess it either activates them or helps them in some way. And then they can reach out to you as seeing what you do, and maybe they become clients that way. Okay, interesting. Now, I know that one of the things that you deal with is the word vulnerability. Why is vulnerability so important? And how can we adopt it better?
vulnerability is our superpower. It is what connects us to being human, and sometimes you lose sight of that because for different reasons, for like past experiences and whatnot. But being able to connect to who you are with complete transparency is the best thing that you could do.
For sure, for sure. And I like that you said that it's our superpower because often we think of it as the opposite. We
Right,
think of it as that's negative, something that can harm us in some way, or we allow ourselves to become harmed
right.
by being vulnerable. And you're saying that's the opposite. It's actually our superpower. It connects us with each other. Speak to the importance also of vulnerability in your line of work. I mean, I'm sure you will have to have your clients be vulnerable, and you, I guess, in certain situations will also have to be vulnerable to bring your point across. So speak to the importance of vulnerability as a life coach.
All right. So in terms of what I do, vulnerability is fundamental. It's very important because I believe that growth happens in complete honesty. If you're not completely honest about who you are, where you are right now, where you want to go, then we would be operating blindly. So vulnerability is very important to understand what it is that we want to do so we can take the right steps that are aligned with your values, your visions, your aspirations, so we can connect the
Ab-
dots properly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm seeing how that will work out. You cannot be, I guess, close minded, or,
Right,
you cannot be so selective and then expect to truly grow. You have to be willing to share certain things. And I know that can be hard for some people because, they might have had a bad experience sharing, or, and, they don't want to go through that again, obviously.
right.
And that might be tough for them. So I I'm seeing that might be something that you might have to work hard with. Has that been another challenge for you? Getting people to be vulnerable?
Not necessarily. Because I've met clients who had a wall built up, but then we're able to discuss why the wall is there, and then we operate on levels where we are comfortable. So we work in those routes because as much as I need you to be open, I also need you to be comfortable in order for you to be able to be receptive and receive the information that I'm giving you.
That makes a lot of sense actually.
Yeah.
So you allow people, that space to be vulnerable, and then I guess they help you in return because more open, and they allow you to do your job better.
This ad slot could be yours. In a world filled with stories, make yours resonate. Introducing Prime ad slots on our podcast, the gateway to a captive audience eager to hear your message. Secure your exclusive ad slot now. Contact via our Instagram page to find out more.
So that makes a lot of sense. I like where this interview has gone thus far. I like where it is going. All right, so we're moving to my favorite part of a game changers interview. It's called the quick hitters. So these are rapid fire questions, right? So this is a part of the interview where you answer as quickly as possible. I typically say in 30 seconds or less. All right? Okay. So let's go. First quick hitter question. What is your favorite part of your job?
When my clients are happy, I'm happy.
Okay. Simple as that. So happy client, happy Sarah. Okay, all right. I like that. Next question. What is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
That your vibe will attract your tribe.
Okay, all right. I love that. I love that. Again, that's an amazing quote,
It
right? So we
is, it
can,
is.
yeah, your vibe will attract your tribe. Yeah, I think that must, go up on a wall somewhere, or something like that. A constant reminder.
Yes, yes, you
For
should do
sure,
that.
for sure. But by the way, before we go on to the other quick hitter question, can I ask you who gave you that advice? Do you remember who?
Um, I got that advice from it was an international coach that gave me that advice.
Okay, okay, interesting. All right. Final quick hitter question. Who would you like to see on Game Changers?
I would love to see a motivational speaker. I think that they and I can also connect to see how we could, I should say, improve society, how we can make an impact in solution.
For sure. For sure. By the way, do you know any particular motivational speaker that you? So we'll have to go on a search to find one, particularly one maybe from Saint Lucia or the Caribbean, who understands our culture well and can motivate people within our culture.
Yes,
We're moving on. Speak to the importance of mental health. We kind of spoke about it a little bit, but I want you to really zero down on why mental health is so important.
I think mental health has this stigma that it is something bad, and we label it to be something so taboo when I feel like it shouldn't be, because all of us go through things. We are human beings. We are connected to our emotions, our thoughts, our feelings. And sometimes things happen, whether it is you lose a job, going through a breakup, you're going through a divorce, you have issues with friends, and whatever is done at the time is enough to impact you in a way where you somewhat spiral. And that's a normal response to when we are hurt. And I feel like in moments like that, instead of actually people passing judgment, these are the moments where we're supposed to give an open hand, understand what's going on with the person, and allow the person to understand what's going on with them so that the healing journey can begin.
Absolutely. So we must heal ourselves first. I always say that we must heal ourselves before we help others
Yeah,
heal. Right?
yeah, because you cannot
Is
pour
that
from an
is
empty
that
cup.
all right? You said it even better than I said it. Right? Because I'm seeing that sometimes I'm not saying nobody's perfect and everybody's going through something, but sometimes I see people who are broken trying to fix other broken people, and it seems to have like more brokenness,
Right, right.
and it's kind of difficult to move forward. So I'm seeing that it's important to deal with your mental health, deal with your emotions
Yes,
to move forward. Would you agree with that?
yes. I believe that you should make sure that you're okay before you decide to make sure that others are okay.
For sure, for sure. All right. So can you give my audience some simple ways to cope with burnout? So you can probably give them like three of them off the top of your head, like three of the simplest ways that that people can cope with burnout.
All right. So one way to even realize that you're being burned out is to self-reflect. And so at the end of the day, you could do disconnect from the outside world, from the social media world, and you take a moment with yourself. In that moment, you reflect on your day. How did your day go? How you feel about how your day went? What did you like about your day? What you did not like about your day? And what part of the day were you able to give yourself some compassion? It's something that you liked. Whether it is, did you eat your favorite snack? Did you ensure that you drink water? Did you take a break when you needed? So, first thing to kind of understand your burnout and where you are is when you self reflect, you could almost see pockets of moments that were missed. And after you self reflect, the next thing you could do is plan for the next day, what it is that you want to do for the next day, whether it is your clothes, whether it is your time stamp of what you want to do next. Because planning for the next day kind of takes away the morning rush and also the running like a headless chicken analogy. So when you plan when you plan for the day, you kind of can go step by step what to do next. And also, the next thing I will say is self care is very important to clean out, and also self compassion. So, the grace and the love that we extend to others, we need to start to extend it to ourselves as well.
Mm-hmm. You
So,
got
blaming
that
the
one.
midnight oil on both ends is no longer a thing, should not be a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like your last point in particular. Because I think sometimes we feel like self care is selfish, and that is not true.
It's not.
Particularly like people with children. This podcast is mainly for young people, but I we know that young people do have children as well. Youth do have children as well, and probably they are first time parents, and that is a time where they get tired, and they feel like, if they think of themselves and not think of the child, somehow they're being selfish, and they're not thinking about their
Right.
responsibility. So based on what you're saying, it's very important to take care of yourself first, and to take care of yourself
It
well,
is.
or
It
not to take
is.
yeah,
It is because I'm a mom as well, so I know the guilt sometimes that comes with the fever of
hmm
when you decide to care for yourself. But it's necessary in moments where you decide to doubt it or feel guilty about it. Remember that your child or children needs a healthy parent.
for
They
sure,
need a healthy parent. They need an okay parent because children feed off energy and the areas around them. So you have to make sure you're okay in order for you to make sure that they're okay.
for sure, for sure. I often tell the parents that are my friends that your child cannot have a good parent if the parent is dead or the parent is not functioning.
Exactly.
It's important to take care of yourself.
Okay.
Okay, so a young person is looking at this interview and is inspired by you. Probably they are similar to you, that they're naturally caretakers, that they naturally want to help others. How can they get into a life coaching? And what advice would you have for them if they want to become life coaches?
All right. So one of the first things is to, of course, get certified. There's a lot of different courses and associations and schools that offer the life coaching certification.
Okay.
So that would be one of the first things I would suggest that you do. The second thing is to invest in you because you are your brand. So try to understand what exactly that you want to offer because life coaching itself is broad. So you can specialize in a particular area in life coaching, so lean into your strengths. So whether it is you're probably somebody that big on personal development, or you good with procrastination, you're good with time management, then you could zero in on your strength and then invest more in that so you can build in that as part of your certification. And the last thing is ensure that you have patience because this job requires patience. Patience with yourself and patience with your client.
For sure. For sure. That sounds like it is the ultimate thing that you have to have. Patience with
Yes,
yourself, particularly, and also patience with your clients. All right. So that's great advice. And I'm sure that our listeners, those who are interested in becoming life coaches, will really appreciate it. So thank you for that. All
you're
right.
welcome.
So we're moving on to the final question, and probably the most loaded question. What is next for Sarah?
To take over the world.
Okay, Sarah. Interesting. Interesting. Meaning what, Sarah? Meaning what?
Meaning that there is so much more to do in the world in terms of personal development. I want it to be a big thing in St. Lucia. So I would try my best to be a part of that.
For sure. So you want to be part of the change in St. Lucia
Yeah.
for sure. All right. And we look forward to that for you. We believe that you can do it. And we we hope to see, you know, the change in St. Lucia, particularly in this space, in terms of life coaching, in terms of mental health, in terms
Yes,
of
yes,
even therapy. I know that you're not a therapist, like you said earlier on, but in this space, in this mental awareness space, there is definitely room for growth, and I think it's very necessary that we champion these causes. But that's part of the reason why I have you on here. I really want to continue, to develop this cause. So I want to thank you for coming on for that. Absolutely. Okay, guys, this has been yet another amazing episode. And to thank you for coming on. Thank you for listening to this amazing, interesting conversation. Remember to like and subscribe and leave a thumbs up if you like this content down below. Remember to comment in the comment section. We like to hear feedback from you. Maybe you have questions for our guests. Before Sarah leaves, however, I must eh, give her the opportunity to tell people where they can contact her for any information on her business. So, Sarah?
So you could get me on Instagram at life coach Sarah underscore. And you could also check on my website at www.sarahchronicles.com. And you could also get me on WhatsApp on 1758 732 1600.
For sure. And we will leave the links down below so that everybody can get contact with you. All right?
All right.
All right. Thank you so very much for coming on.
You're
And thank you
welcome.
guys for coming on. Again, stay hungry. And I'll see you next time.
Yes. Bye
Bye bye.
bye.